We are live from the road of the National. We're in Ohio right now. You can see the beautiful sunset behind me. Just me and my go enjoying ourselves, chatting about the show, and I thought we'd share some comments with y'all. Um, so what I really want to start off while I'm waiting for people to join in uh, is I was asked the other night what was one of my greatest things I saw or on or whatever struck by. And I gotta say anything. I'm in the car. Just let me know. But last night there, I did a live. Miko was streaming, doing a break. He recorded and downloaded, or uploaded, however you want to call it. Uh, and Mike Fabian is over on the couch doing rip and wax. On the other couch is Dave, Midlife Car Crisis, ripping wax. I'm ripping wax while I was talking and afterwards. And we're all four opening wax and just ripping. And what I thought was so great about it was it made me feel like I was 10 years old again with my friends. It was amazing. We were looking to see what other people wanted. We were just handing each other PC cards. We didn't care values. Values wasn't a thing we were looking for. I just thought that was the most amazing thing I saw all week. That to me is what the hobby's about. Just friends sharing a good time, just ripping wax and just chatting about life, being friends. I feel like I had four acquaintances that I met on through the hobby, and now I feel like I have four friends leaving this. And I hope they feel the same way with me. I think that was the most amazing thing that I saw this weekend.
What's up, Carlisle? What's up, Rick? What's up, Stooks? Carlisle wants to know if the Carrie Fisher is in the back seat with the seatbelt on.
Yes, it is. It is in bubble wrap. Just protect it well. It is, yeah, it is well protected.
What do you think Rick had to say?
Rick is telling me to keep my eyes on the road.
That is correct.
Yes, Rick. Being careful. Not a lot of traffic. We had a lot of traffic when we were leaving Illinois, of course, with a couple of wrecks or broken down cars. I really couldn't see what the slowdowns were. The worst thing on the road is we stopped at, this is new to me, something like we stopped at some rest areas that had restaurants, and the restaurants didn't have much food. They were out of everything. One restaurant was completely closed. That's been the most frustrating thing since we left. I want to just start out also by saying at the show today, it was chilly in there, don't you think, Mikey?
It was about 35 to 40 degrees cooler than every other day.
I was like, man, I think I need a sweatshirt today compared to the rest of the days.
Stooks Baseball Cards and Curiosity said, great meeting you, Scott.
Oh, yes, dude, man. Got his card. I'll be showing that off on my pickup later. Great talking with him. That's the other thing. This is my 7th year, and I'm just adding and adding to my Rolodex of people. Mike, you got to feel the same way about that, right?
Of course. You get to know people better year after year. You get to meet new people. So the other thing, too, is obviously there's some of us that have been lucky enough to attend the National virtually every year for the last 5, 6, 7 years. Whatever it is. Yeah, of course. But there's other people who for whatever reason, are only able to get there maybe every few years. Mike Fabian, Eastern Connecticut Sports Cards. If you guys aren't familiar with them, I mean, he started on YouTube around the same time I did, maybe slightly before, and he's been on break from YouTube for the last few years. He just kind of came back within the last year, and this was his first national in about 4 years. So, like, it was great to just fall back in line with him and, you know, catch up and all that. Garrett, Card Cutter 23, I think it's been 6 years since he's been to a national. So it was the first time I got to see him in more than half a decade. It's crazy. Time flies. So you're being reintroduced to people, and you're meeting some people for the first time. And there's some people, I mean, the community and the amount of people on YouTube is just continuing to grow. So it is really difficult to keep up with everyone because everyone's got so much going on, and you do your best. But there's several guys that came up and, you know, introduced themselves to me, and, you know, I recognized their channel name from some comments here and there, but, you know, I may have missed clicking on their name and seeing that they were doing videos, and I was able to subscribe to more people and all of that. So it really is a great event for the cards. It's a great event for the friends you know. It's a great event to just build that stronger bond, but also to network, and not networking in a business standpoint, because there are people who do that, but and building relationships and kind of helping each other out. You know, you get to meet people and they're like, yeah, I'm looking for this card. And if you see a card, you see them again, you let them know, hey, I saw this. And maybe it works for them, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it just gives them something else to think about. So that's all awesome, for sure.
Yeah, and also I want to echo. So I'm talking to a young lady at the SGC booth the first night I'm there, first day, and it came up. I do YouTube. I like to slide it in there when I can. She goes, man, y'all are a tight knit community, and I was thinking, I went, we are. You know, there's some beef in between, some drama between people. But at the end of the day, we all respect each other, I think, at a certain level. Maybe not everybody, but we do have some. We put ourselves out there. We let people see a side of us that, you know, maybe some people don't get to see. And I think there's a level of respect just doing the videos in our community. You know, I have to echo what Eric says. If you're not making videos, you know, turn that thing around, click play, and, you know, just for your own, just keep it a catalog for your own self. Let's see.
Real quick, just responding to the chat, if I can get it back up. There we go. In reference to your conversation about, you know, that rest stop, Carlisle says, don't try to stop at Chick-fil-A today.
Okay, yeah.
Clay Phillips says, travel safe, guys. Carlisle said, I haven't even met myself that often. Steven Sports Cards is here. Says, amen, Scott. This community is like no other.
Yeah, Dom, had a great couple of chats with Dom. Love talking with him any chance I can get. Wealth of knowledge in the vintage and learning. He realizes he's got knowledge, but he's still learning like the rest of us. I'm ignorant when it comes to it, and I am definitely learning all the time.
Always learning. Keep learning.
Keep learning. I did get my CGC today. I did make a blind reveal on that. So I have that coming as well. I did very well. I believe being a 1977 Wonder Bread set with black borders, I didn't get anything below a 7. Beautiful cards. And then that CGC, you know, now I got to say CGC, not CSG. And that holder is beautiful. I did see while I was there, a guy get a Pokemon return, and he had 3 pristines. I was shocked. I've never seen a pristine with CGC, and a guy was almost 3. So that was pretty cool to see. You know, I love seeing other other cards. Almost said other people's stuff with Carlisle, and probably head would have exploded. I just, love to see that type of stuff and excitement.
Good evening, Dr. Exclusive.
Yeah, Joe.
Safe travels, he says.
Oh, thank you.
And it was a pleasure to meet him for the first time.
Yes. I need to get up to Toronto for the expo, hang out with those guys. I did do a couple of lives as well Friday night, if I didn't say it. Card Hedge Radio on Retro Hoops and Collectibles channel with JD and Omar. Great conversation. Victor did it the next night. And I was on Carlos's channel after that, talking about the same stuff.
Collector's Dream says hello. Hello, a Collector's Dream.
Yeah. Me and Mike talked about it today. When we went this morning, we knew it was our last day. And when I made my last couple of purchases, I bought, this is for you, Blue Rock and the rest of you guys, Dom, and you guys in the Vintage Carlisle. I picked up, I feel like, some very nice Roberto Clemente low grades, but I thought they were nice for the grades. That was pretty much the end of my day, end of my week. And as I went to go sit down and wait for Mike to finish up, told him no hurry. He was getting fudge for it, so I wasn't rushing him.
Lou Rock says, "What's up?"
What's up, Lou Rock? Got some. I don't know if I hope you heard me what I just said. But as I was going to sit down, it hit me. It was over, and all the heat, all the negative stuff that I bitched about parking and all this other stuff, I didn't care about at that moment. I just did not care. I wanted the show to continue. Now I can't wait to Cleveland with this morning and last night. We were talking about Airbnbs again, where we're staying at for next year. So next year's already in our thoughts. You got anything to add to that, Mike?
No, but Wesker Griff just popped in the room, and he said, "We made history this week. We were part of history."
That's right.
Move over, 1991. 2023 is the new record holder for the largest card show ever.
Yeah.
History with an exclamation point. Lou Rock said he was just in time. Purple GT 22.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hope you're doing well, Steve.
Yeah.
We missed you, but we appreciate you popping in here. Lou Rock says 2026. Is it Atlanta, Nashville, or AC? Well, it won't be Nashville. Nashville did not make the cut of the final three. The vote went down. It's between Atlanta, Atlantic City,
right,
and Chicago. Atlanta is not expected to. It's pretty well known that is out. It's going to be between Chicago and AC. Little battle going on.
It depends who you talk to, who won.
Yeah, some of the new guys seem to be strongly voting in favor of Chicago. The old timers a little closer to vote for AC. So we'll see. There's probably more votes for Chicago, but the weighted vote may go in favor of Atlantic City. Who knows? They could theoretically announce at any time, but I think the expectation is it might be a few months before they release that information.
And the way, the more and more dealers I talked to, and a couple of people I actually knew, so I knew I was getting honest opinion, was they want to go somewhere different. They really do. But Atlanta gave a terrible, terrible presentation. And so people just didn't care. And I heard when Atlantic City came in to give their presentation, people got up and left because they didn't want to hear. But Atlantic City came in and told them they made some big mistakes last year and said they were going to fix those mistakes.
Increased Wi-Fi, increased security.
Give each dealer $1,000.
Cold hard cash.
Yeah.
That's cash is king, baby.
Yeah, cash is king. So it's hard to not think it's not going to be Atlantic City.
Chat blowing up a little bit. Rudolph 21 says it was great seeing you again, big guy.
What's up?
We got Steven Sports Cards talking to Ed about surviving his first Portillo's meal. W. Boggs is here. Dave's Midlife Card Crisis says, "What's up, fellas?
What's up,
Haven't
Dave?
seen you in hours.
Yeah.
Makes me sad." So Dave's got some tears of joy dropping down those
I
cheeks.
tell you, when Dave drops his video that is one to definitely watch, he got some really nice autos, really nice.
Dave always picks up awesome stuff, and he keeps it, you know,
At a nice price.
he makes,
He makes good decisions.
he sat there and he wanted the Larry Bird autograph. And little spoiler alert, Larry Bird. You
Won't
might
make
see,
appearance.
we don't know what kind of card, maybe some card, maybe an autograph, maybe not, who knows, maybe it's a parallel, maybe it's a rookie, who knows. Go check out his channel. But,
Right.
but I saw him in action, looking at some stuff, checking out the comps, getting an overpriced,
Said no on
offer,
one.
and kind of made it clear, like, you're a little high, pal.
Right.
Moved on and found something more rare, lower numbered at a better price.
Yeah.
Wester Griff talking about the $1,000 bribes to dealers to go to AC.
Yep.
Carlisle says, "Hey, Atlanta wasn't the favorite to win the Olympics either." Hey, you never know.
Yeah.
Surprises do happen.
Yeah. And Carlisle, where is the convention center? Is it in Atlanta proper, or is it in a surrounding area? Do you have any idea on that one?
Dave's Midlife says, "Video dropping late tonight." So, guys,
Oh, there you have
make
it.
sure after you're done watching Big Scott 35 here, head over to Dave's Midlife Card Crisis. Give him a sub if you haven't.
That's right.
Check out that video. Hit the thumbs up. I think it's really good to support each other in the community. It's
He has a Hall of Famer.
yeah, that too. But it's just there's going to be so many national videos right now, and that algorithm's going to push certain channels that just keep getting pushed. So what I like to do is bounce around to different comments and click on the links to their channels and try and you can't necessarily watch them all immediately, but I try and add them to the watch list and watch them when I get a chance, because it's fun to see what everyone's picking up. I like to hear people's perspectives and hear the talking heads as well, which is what we're doing right now. But seeing what people pick up, see what they did, why their experience, listen to their own words about why the experience was fun, and all the different things we all collect. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, because, everybody's going to come at a different angle.
There's almost nobody who's more excited to go to the National year in and year out than Dave. Dave's
our countdown.
He's the one who's like, all right, guys, Nationals in 347 days. What are we thinking? Then once we get to December, he really kicks it into another gear, like, yo,
Right.
take this seriously.
Right. And, we learned by this year, we might need to take it seriously a little bit earlier, if not a lot earlier, to get something. Because I saw a form in one of the VIP rooms for housing in Cleveland for all the vendors. So, if they got that many vendors again, and Cleveland has the space for it, there's going to be a shortage of hotels again, or it's going to be pushed out even further how far away you're going to be staying from an IX center.
Clay Phillips is in the chat as well. Both Stooks and Carlisle say downtown Atlanta.
Downtown, okay.
Whereas Truist Park is now in the burbs in East Cobb. Stooks says the last Atlanta National had more dealers than buyers, but that was also 24 years ago. Different world.
Different world.
Dave, with the countdown going, says 3:52 to go.
That's right.
Aim for Cleveland.
So, of course, people that stayed with us was Weston Griff. I think most people know him. Micah.
Few people know him.
Yeah, he's the guy that's better known as the guy that's with me sometimes. Let's see, East Coast Connecticut Collectibles.
Eastern Connecticut Sports Cards.
There you go. I get it. When I don't know somebody and it seems going to be every time now I go to say his name, I'm going to just like the Big Chicken or whatever we ate at. I called it 8,000 different things.
Yeah. It was Big Chicken.
It was Big Chicken. See?
Shout out to Big Chicken, one of the best meals of the trip. So good one, Shaquille O'Neal. Maybe I'll invest in. Gone. Wild to think of.
Yeah, that is. And I mean, we just heard on somebody else's perspective of videos that Saturday had less people there than Thursday or Friday. And I'm calling BS because I pulled up
fake news.
Saturday at 10:30, and I had to wait for the crowd to split to get down the road.
Hey, in a park on the corner of the roof.
Yeah, I had to park on the opposite side I did today. It took me over 30 minutes to get to my parking spot and walk through. And I'm not the fastest of guys when walking, so when everything is working right. So
Wesker Griff says big bleeping chicken.
Yeah.
Big chicken fan. Paul C says records are made to be broken, which is true. Clay Phillips says commuting seems a problem for the Cleveland show, I'm told.
I don't think
so. Atlantic City, you kind of need an Uber in 99%. There's a select few places where you can walk to, or you drive to the convention center and you can, of course, walk over. But Atlantic City is a watch your back type of place if you're not familiar with it. I'm sure most people have heard that. Chicago is the most friendly in terms of walking because most people are able to stay in a hotel. And then it's Uber City. I mean, if you leave the National at 6 o'clock when they start throwing people out, like, you're going to get stuck in traffic there. But Cleveland is definitely more separate. People's Airbnbs, hotels are all going to be further away, but most hotels have shuttles
to run all day.
Now, sometimes certain shuttles aren't moving as quickly, or sometimes you have to call them and such, but like you do have that shuttle option. Of course, Uber, Lyft are big deals now.
The highway's right there.
So you are a little more separated, but they have a giant lot. A lot of people drive. Some people will rent cars. But you are going to be a little further, but it's less. You're not going to get stuck in that heavy traffic. And, the restaurants and stuff, everything's a little more separate, but it's also taxing. I feel like of all the nationals I've been to.
And it's not a tourist trap. So the other two places are more tourist traps for eating and stuff, where this one is more of like just a regular place that has a convention center. Until you go downtown, and then it's a little bit different. But, it's a little bit, to get there and back, you have to kind of plan it out a little bit, know your plan for that. But actually, inside is huge. I think it's cheaper to stay in there. It's cheaper to eat.
Hotels are a good percentage.
So that's more money to go to your card budget or just budget in general. We can eat a little bit better. So
Saturday had the most people selling to dealers, in the opinion of Wesker Griff. Stoops, more people in the general admission line on Saturday than Thursday or Friday, so that's another perspective. I was lucky enough to avoid kind of having to witness that. Don's Field of Dream Cards says, hi, Mike and Scott.
Hey,
you had a great national. We might keep on our way right by Pittsburgh.
About another hour.
Clay says, thanks to the dealers were outstanding this year for the most part. Almost all of them were motivated to sell Milwaukee museums. And there were a few I just, there was a nice reason to.
And there was no shortage of them.
And, good
$2 boxes.
Yeah, they're short, but definitely most things, even if it was a rare card, they were very willing to negotiate. So
Yeah,
that was a nice change of pace.
Today was not nearly as busy. I mean, I could move around freely.
Today was the day to buy wax for sure.
Today was a wax day. We both probably bought way too much wax than we should have. But I bought some singles, and stuff was priced well already, and I still got never pay sticker, and I just thought they were all. I thought the dealers were really pleasant.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Yeah, there's always going to be a few cranky guys in there, but for the most part, really pleasant. A lot of great conversations, and just like hanging out with friends at the National, you get to know some of these dealers. You get the human side. You get to hear, because a lot of them are collectors. Some not so much, but most of them are, and
right.
It's really good conversation.
PC Sports Cards. I'd like to give a shout out. I watched Westergrove get a good deal with them on Thursday, I believe it was it, and I went back. I kept them in mind and went back to them yesterday, and I probably sold myself a little short. I myself admitted not the greatest haggler in the world, but this has kind of broke me of that. But I feel like I came off pretty good on 3 cards from them. But I sat there and talked to them and got great information. They do consignment and all this other stuff, and they're giving me info on all the stuff that they do. They were so willing to talk and just shake hands and wanted to meet you and talk to you. And there was a lot more of that. I don't know if it was because a new breed of dealer was there. There was a lot more newer dealers and stuff like that to the National, I should say. Maybe not to the card world, but to the National. I know Mike dealt with one of his dealer friends from Philly that he usually deals with. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. That you bought Friday, Thursday, first night stuff. Was it Wednesday? Yeah. He was awesome. That guy was great. I still kick myself. I probably should have got a Johnny Bench, but the problem was, and Mike even told him, is his stuff was too nice. When I'm looking for that, I'm looking for mid-grades, low grades. He had a couple of food and beverage I would have loved to walk away with. And it was just, graded 9, and one was a 5, and that was a little pricey for me. But that's the one I should have walked away with. That was some type of meat company. I never saw it before. I would have loved to walk away with that, but wasn't meant to be.
I should have checked out PC Sports Cards a little more. Like I saw everything, but I can't remember specifically their food.
That area, I think that was the area for most of the new dealers, was right there. And man, they just like that whole area was motivated, was very happening. It was excitement in there, a lot of good vibes. The carpet area, crowded. Me and Mike tonight is trying to figure out why it's crowded. There is nothing special back there. There's a few YouTube members of bigger channels that were back there. That part of Gary V's group with Ryan, Card Collector 2 also. Group. Now, Ryan wasn't back there, but the guys he did the podcast with was. I think some of the Card Ladder guys were back there. But still, the whole area was packed back there the whole weekend. And I can't put my finger on why. And it was like that the last time. That carpet area just seemed, and everybody's like, oh, that's very ultra modern. No, I saw some of the best cards for me to think of vintage stuff, pre-war stuff that I have seen was back there. That was in my range. You got anything for that one, Mike?
Well, just some more comments here. Ziggy No says, cheers. What's up, Ziggy? Great to meet you.
Great to meet you,
once
Ziggy.
again, Stukes was kind of just talking to Ed about how twice he asked the dealer the best price on a card that was stickered at 150 and both said 100. So substantial savings there, which is awesome. Don to stop by and say hi. Wesker Griff said, and this is a good point, and we were both talking about this earlier, did a lot of dealers stay around today? We stayed till about 1:30.
Yeah.
And it was mostly full still. There, of course, were a few guys that had left. You know, a couple guys were working on starting to get things packed up. But for the most part, everyone was open, and people were still actually filing in a little bit. Now, I don't know if they were people who went to lunch and were coming back to check it out.
Right.
But, you know, most were still there, and, you know, I'd say the majority looked like they would be there for the foreseeable future, at least the next few hours. And, you know, some of them it's going to take a long time to break down, but a lot of great deals. The wax was being marked down.
I would have loved to stay the rest of the day, because whatever wax is left behind, they were motivated. It looks like all the wax companies were like the ones that sell wax for a living was motivated to not carry that stuff back with them, is what it looks like. I mean, it was pretty nice. And, you know, you could buy it, and if it was still one of the things you can get packs with.
Yeah, we got some Panini stuff, got some packs, you got Upper Deck. But the dealers were very willing, and they were pretty good overall during the show, but understandably, early in the show, they're going to do what they can to get the most they can. I was able to I basically bought an entire showcase of vintage from a guy, so I was able to get, you know, substantial savings off, you know.
Where are you hiding your Rolex?
I'm not doing the Rolex stuff. But that was from a fund that was set aside to buy some stuff for resale, for sure. But no, it was a good day. I liked it, but you know, we got a long trek to go. So if it was Atlantic City, you know, I probably would have stayed longer. If it was Cleveland, even, because that's 5-6 hours shorter, you stay a little longer. Or if, you know, you have that extended available time, you can just stay an extra day. I think that's something that maybe even in the future is worth considering if it's able to be done, is if you stay and come home, travel Monday, that gives you more flexibility to stay Sunday if you're really looking to capitalize on those deals.
Yeah, and you know,
it was a good day.
And don't have FOMO, right? Because people are buying early because they're afraid it's not going to be there later. I missed that on the David Wright. You know, I really liked it, but you know, I had one thing that I was going to buy, and I told myself I was not going to buy anything else until I bought that one thing to make sure I had the money for it. And then once I bought that one thing with the money I had left, it's kind of, you know, I'm going after the rest of my PC stuff that I really saw. So, you know, I went into it where, you know, when we do a little review, so I made a game plan. Did I stick with it? No, not 100%. Most of it I did. I got the Princess Leia Slave. I got that first, then paid. Stuck with that. But I was playing on Friday and Saturday, looking for stuff like that. And I ended up changing because I was like, I really want autos. I want all PC autos. I was finding them everywhere at reasonable price. So I changed up my game plan, went more auto searching or short prints. And then Sunday I did wax because we saw it, and it was kind of hard to walk away from some of that like that. Mike, what was did you stick with your game plan for the most part, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always a stickler for seeing the entire show, if at all possible, because I like to see everything that's there and get an idea of what's around and the different stuff. But I'm also, for the collection stuff, I'm looking for items that are easy to miss and just generally hard to find anyway. And you can find them in the oddest places you might not expect to find. Clearly, the older dealers, there's that section where you're most likely going to see the highest selection. But some of the old-time dealers are just bringing out the same stuff every year. That, you know, they do buy new inventory, but they're maybe not as aggressive as other people. So you do find them in the different corners. So I did that, and I was so Wednesday night I made a nice purchase, but the reason I was aggressive on that is because I knew the dealer. I knew he was very, very good at giving you a deal. Like, I basically got 6 or 7 items for the sticker price of one of the bigger items. So, like, I knew he was going to work with me really well. Plus, I like to support him. There was no reason for me to not work out something there. But after that, other than a couple cards, I was very disciplined. And, you know, in some ways it cost me, because it did cost me an item that I would really like to have had because I was too patient with
He
it.
was bummed. Y'all should have saw his face.
But ultimately, I did find some other very unique things. I kind of countered to that, and then I found something really cool for my collection today that I didn't that it kind of fell into accidentally. And then one of my goals for today was to pick up some stuff that I like, that I'd love to keep, but I bought it for the purpose of breaking down and reselling. It's going to be a lot of work for me, but that was one of the things I wanted to do too. And it's still hard for me to do that, because when I'm at the show, I want to find the stuff that I want for myself.
Right,
and
right.
You have to separate that. And I'm never going to go completely one way or the other. I'm going to try
and
work on both. So I was pretty pleased overall with it.
And me and Mike did not walk around a lot together. We walked around some together. Just to let everybody know, we kind of did our own thing and just met up.
We didn't hold hands the entire time. Same thing with Ed and everyone. We all kind of
do our own thing.
We spend some time together, but also respect each other's. Like, hey, go find what you want to show.
Right.
Like, you just freaking traveled across the country, halfway across the country to go look at stuff. You got to spend some time at the show.
But we all knew what everybody's looking for, so we're steadily taking pictures, sending pictures on our group chat, just constantly contacting each other. And then what are we doing for lunch? So that just, we told y'all before, try to make as many friends. I had other friends sending me pictures and stuff, which was awesome. I wish I would have met up with some of those. Sean, one of them. I didn't. I got to finally see JJ yesterday, I believe it was.
They definitely blend together.
Yeah, today and yesterday definitely does for me. Because I didn't go in many mornings. It took a while for me to loosen my back up and stretch out. And the other problem, the Airbnb I thought was very good for what we needed. We just only had one bathroom, so it was 5 people trying to take showers. So because of my back, I knew I was going to take my time. I usually took the last shower and hit it over when I got it going.
All right, we got some action in the chat. Wesker Griff says, "Yo Ziggy, I missed you again, man." Wesker missing some of the community. Dave says, "Just tell the cranky ones there to hi and walk away," and that does happen sometimes.
Right.
You have that poor attitude, you lose some sales. Don says, "You guys still have quite a ride." That is absolutely true. Wesker congratulating Don on showing the Phils who the cream of the Commonwealth are. Shameful series for us. Thank God I missed it. I'll say that. Carlisle says, "Does anyone ask the dealers what's the worst price you'd let this go for?"
Yeah, because you ask them a best price, and usually they giggle. They're going to, I guess.
Ed says every single dealer he interacted with came down from anywhere from 18 to 30%. Ed must have his calculator.
Well, I told Ed this the other when we were. It was just me and him in there, and I said, "Well, they all saw his videos or him on my videos. They got scared. They didn't want to be cussed out by Ed Wesker."
Carlos is in the chat. He says, "Wesker Griff, you should have offered 31.6% off." Collector's Dream and Carlos saying hello to each other. So it's Ed. Reese ND Card Rangers popping in. What up, Reese?
What's up, brother?
Carlos says, #absurd deals only. Learn this lesson well, Ed.
Yeah. I think everybody.
Dealers encouraging offers, the complete opposite of last year in the eyes of Ed.
I agree, and not only different, because I heard some people. Well, I've only heard one person saying that some of the stuff was overly priced. I mean, it might have been, but they're going to do that so when negotiations start, it's in their favor.
Yeah, there's always going to be some level, and then the hot stuff, like the Ohtani stuff was priced very high, but guess what? If I were set up there, I would price the Ohtani stuff high. Why wouldn't you?
Right.
The guy's literally playing some of the best baseball of all time.
Right.
And to be honest, people were buying it. I did walk.
Right.
I think it was late yesterday. I was walking in the newer section, and I just see this absurd sum of money laying on the showcase, and the guy's working out a deal, and I just kind of walked by, and I looked, and the guy bought a Sapphire rookie, which had a price tag of $5,000 on it, and a couple other short printed, which I didn't see the price tag, but, I mean, it was...
And that guy was 13 years old.
He was probably in his 40s or so, but, like, I mean, the guy obviously got good prices. I'm sure he got a little bit off a sticker price, but Ohtani stuff was red hot. The hottest item at the National might have been Topps Chrome Baseball. Hobbies and Jumbos, I mean, they shot up like 25% by the end of it because the big places were completely out of it at times. And the silver pack bonus, the silver packs were red hot. People going crazy for it.
Yeah. Which, to me, this is kind of the first year since, I don't know, the year the Zion rookie and Panini silver pack was nuts for Panini. And then once some of the color got picked up, the craziness kind of stopped on it. But for Topps baseball, and I'm still trying to understand, there's some of the 101 refractors, but I've never really seen it like this.
I mean, I saw a lot of excitement in general. Like,
right.
I know there's a lot of concern about the hobby and this and that. Is it dying? And that's a load of shit. Like, to be honest, like, the hobby is stronger today than it was last year, and it was stronger last year than that. Things softened a little bit for multiple reasons. There's some economic concerns, so in general, people are going to be a little more cautious, but also some of the dopes of 2020, to put it nicely, have moved on and left. And then some of the new people that have stuck around have learned and just making more educated buys, you know, thinking out things a little more. So prices soften in some cases, but they're just as strong in others. I mean, pre-war stuff sells very well, and that is going to continue to rise, maybe slowly. But guess what? There is not a mass amount of
not being made anymore.
Quantity.
Yeah.
I mean, it is so difficult to find a lot of that. Vintage, there's plenty around, but the nice stuff and the certain key cards, guess what? There's a lot of buyers for it. There's a lot of people who want it. And year after year, there's many people, myself included, who pass up certain cards, and they just target it the next year. I saw a lot of that stuff moving. And then the 90s stuff is still hot, and the new stuff too. It's just people are going to be more selective with certain players, and on-field performance is going to matter. And that's the issue with today.
Yeah, talking about on-field performance, man. Like all the trades going on right now in baseball, that was some hot news going around the floor this week.
Yeah, a lot of player movement, a lot of excitement for baseball. You can definitely see even people excited with football coming up. But you also saw that dread and that concern.
Right.
As soon as words start going around, Joe Burrow carted off the field. There's some fear there. I know Ed loves to see the fear in the eyes of some.
Yeah.
So some people enjoy that news. But no, it was a lot of excitement, not just collectors, but even some of the guys flipping stuff.
Right. And the trading. Oh my gosh, the trading.
The trades, people love that. The youth, a lot of kids there, of all ages. So really cool.
They didn't take up the whole floor space. They were trading upstairs. They find a table, pop a squat. And I talked about this on Carlos's show, I believe. There was more females than I've ever seen in there shopping, not holding hands with their boyfriends.
Families too. A lot of whole families in there.
And, yes, mother, father, son, and all of them looking for her daughter, and all of them looking for different stuff. I saw a lot of that. Not to mention that, and I love that. We need more diversity. We need more thought. I love it. And just makes it stronger as a hobby.
And it's fun too when you're at the show, seeing when people pick stuff up. Reese here is complimenting Ed on his Harry Callis pickup because he mentions he would like it, and I would love to pick up that Harry Callis someday as well. But it's cool when people pick something up that they're looking for, something that makes them happy. I mean, Scott, the one day it was pretty evident to most of us that were hanging out with him, that were with him, that he was a little bummed, he had a little bit of physical pain, not as much of jolly Scott that we love to see. And then he picks up the card he's looking for, and immediately you see a little extra hop in the step, little pep in the step, big smile, super happy. So that was awesome. And I know Scott made a point earlier today that, it's like I can see you smiling or whatever. And you see that with everyone. Mike picked up some super cool Yankees cards. And got him great in Eastern Connecticut. He was happy. And Dave, Dave, like I picked something up and you kind of see that little smirk and he pulls it out and it's like, oh, that is a sweet card, perfect edition.
Wow, yeah.
And so many others that we saw at the show. I mean, God.
I gotta say, seeing Steve, Bronco Steve from IRP, get so excited to get autograph from Terrell Davis, picture with them. That was it was like Christmas for him, it seemed like. That's awesome. I'm getting chills right now. I love seeing that for anybody that gets a chance to do something like that. Pick up a card, meet their hero. He might have got an in-person from him before. I don't know. Wade Boggs fan, he does the same thing every time he gets to meet Wade Boggs. We love the people that we love when it comes to the time.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Seeing the other YouTubers and see their excitement to see each other, and then the stuff they get, and to see the excitement on their faces, what other people get. Like Eric from, I believe his new channel name is Mac Attack. Like, he picked up a really cool Willie Mays, and Nate and some of the guys he was hanging out with, like, see what he gets, and they're excited. And of course, I'm excited to see that. Seeing Nate, that's the first time Tops 8540, first time I got to see him in a few years. So many, the IRP guys, as you mentioned, getting to meet guys that have been, making YouTube videos for dozen plus years, people that you've watched videos of before you ever made your own videos or even interacted. Like, that was very cool, and to see people getting to meet each other for the first time, that was all super awesome. Man, a lot of comments going on here. Paul C. talking about 91 Fleer, kind of laughing about meat on the bone and stuff. So, hilarious. Dave's Midlife Card Crisis. Cards in the showcases were better variety this year, and there was a good mix of stuff.
Right.
Wesker is saying good amount of wrestling this year, which was nice to see.
Yeah.
Dr. Exclusive, how discounted was the wax today? I mean, they were going down a percentage and then, working off deals too a little bit as well. It kind of varied sometimes, place to place. Some places more motivated, and some of it depended on the product.
Right. And
some blasters down to like $10. Right.
They had blasters, the hanger packs we saw at a couple of places were down $5. Some of the wax was $5, $10, $15 off. Most I got was $5 or $10. But I mean, really, and then I got a free pack from
but some of it they had actually marked down last night, and then they marked it down again today.
Right.
So.
And you would think as the day went on, I've been there on a whole Sunday in the past, and this reminded me of some of the, from 6-7 years ago, how they marked down wax. I did not see this 2 years ago. Wax was not marked down. Last year on Saturday evening, I saw the blasters start getting marked down, and they were, I mean, gone. Because you got to remember, retail last year was impossible. So this year, the actual hobby stuff was getting marked down. So you got to take it where you can get it. And I hope this is a continuation. I'm hoping we've gotten a control, like a little handle on the hobby box prices a little bit. You know, so future more and more people can get their hands on it. It's not just a premium for some.
Wesker says, my boy, Dr. Exclusive, safe travels back to the motherland.
Yeah. So we didn't need Carlos. We did have a representative from Canada. So.
That's right. International Card Show, which it was. There was a lot of people from other countries. Paul sees how popular were taco fractors. Did not see a single one. For as popular as the wax was of Topps Chrome, so very limited Topps Chrome available as singles. I saw a few here and there, but most dealers, the product was released Wednesday, so I don't think many dealers had the time to break any of it and break it down.
Yeah.
Had some, but very, very limited.
And I think most of the dealers were getting it from customers and trades themselves.
Henry S. is in the room.
Right here.
He's got some comments. So says he can't get enough of the Nats video. So Henry, appreciate you popping in. Dr. Exclusives, the border guards welcomed us home like we were kings coming back from a cardboard wedding.
I gotta say too, I did get joy out of people being disappointed that they had to cut the plastic off the wrappers off the box to claim their packs. I saw a lot of disappointed faces because that took the retail value right away.
Part of the deal.
I thought that was great and was very enjoyable.
Reed says Scott's Fisher Auto took away all the back pain. At least for a period of time.
I did. I mean, I'm doing a lot better now. Thanks for all the people asking and giving me well wishes. I really do. I had a good time. I had to fight through some stuff, and you know, probably not my best decision to go to this year, but it was a decision.
YouTube legend, longtime YouTuber, YouTube superstar, and someone who probably cleaned out all the best Dan Marinos in the National says, "What up, guys? What up, Brad? 8671. We're in your territory. Well, we're probably past your territory, but we are currently in Ohio, steamrolling towards Pennsylvania, home of YouTube Hall of Famer Wesker Griff." Duke says, great to see all the young collectors. Brad says, Orlando, the hardest working man on YouTube.
Yeah, we did get to spend some time with Brad. Brad's one of my faves. It's great to meet him. I tell you what, the signing of different stuff for different YouTubers, that is fun. And I mean, we did a bat, a ball, 2 different balls. Football helmet from Michael, Canadian Cards. That was awesome. And that thing was full.
And I'll say for signing a baseball, I understand why players like to do the side panel or the sweet spot, because I kind of was the last one to sign it, and I had to sign my long name on like the weird edge, and I was like, oh man, this ain't easy.
Yeah, so that doing that is pretty cool. You know, it was a great weekend. And even with the things at the time, you know, walking around, sweating, going to remember it. 2023 is going to be remembered as the hot one and the record breaker. So it's going to be a couple of things to be remembered.
Yeah, it's never going to be easy, and no trip's going to be perfect. I mean, you got to keep in mind, you do put a lot of pressure on yourself whether you mean to or not. And a lot of people, and myself included, say, "Oh, I'm just gonna, have a good time." But it's something you're looking for. Like on my way home right now, I'm looking forward to Cleveland.
Right.
And it's pretty evident by the fact that, multiple times the both of us have been on Airbnb's website when we have some downtime.
Right.
Just kind of,
checking out things.
looking at things and thinking ahead to things. So you got that going on and you're anticipating it. You're so excited. But, it takes a toll out of you. You're traveling, whether you're going through the pressures of getting everything together and getting to the airport and getting through TSC and flying, or you're driving. I mean, you're traveling. That takes something out of you.
Right.
And then you're there and you're not going to get the 8 hours of sleep, 12 hours of sleep that some get, maybe. You're going to go to bed really late. You're going to go to bed, you're going to get up early. You're maybe not going to make the best choices for eating because, you're not going to have a home-cooked meal, most likely. You're going to be eating out, right? You're going to be on your feet. You're going to be on the concrete floors. You're going to be talking a lot. Your voice is going to get beat up for no reason other than the fact you're in big rooms. You're in large gatherings. You're going to put extra strength. Like, all these factors are going to take you out a little bit. But you make the most of it. You have a great time. You're with like-minded people. You chat. You're having big conversation, whether it's about cards, sports, or you're catching up. It's a great event to get together. There's just so many factors. It's an awesome time. It's definitely great. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, and memories, pictures. Mike was taking tons. He doesn't feel like he was taking enough pictures, and I think he did an excellent job. He did what I wanted to do, and I just didn't. Man, I feel like I let down people that wanted to see the show from me. But I can explain it. I'm a good talker. And
I mean, it definitely takes. It's hard to. You think of like, a 6-second clip. How long does it take? 6 seconds.
right.
But like when you're in the moment, it's difficult. There were a few times where I'm just like, oh, and I just stopped and I'm like, let me just grab a clip. Like just grabbing a clip, having 30 seconds, 60 seconds of stuff just to bring back, jog your memory. Not just necessarily now, but in the future.
Right.
Next year, the year after. Because I look back on some videos I did 6-7 years ago, and I'm so happy to have them.
Right.
And it's the same thing even with life. I look back, some of my most treasured things, like possessions, are one of my uncles, a great uncle, just loved video cameras. And he was the guy who always brought the video cameras when cameras, it wasn't today's world where everyone's got a camera in their pocket. And that's one of the clips that I use in my YouTube videos of us playing baseball. I pulled that from one of those.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, like at the time, it just took some time to take some clips, and I can go back and watch those videos, and I hear my grandmom's voice from when I was a little kid, and you see your parents, where all of a sudden you look back, you're like, oh my goodness, they're younger than I am now, and all that stuff. Like, that's awesome. And I try and think of that, with the national stuff too.
Right.
To be able to just look back and that, man, that was some good times. It may have been 97 degrees. Some guy might have walloped me in the rib cage with his oversized backpack. Someone might have hit me in the foot with a stroller. But those aren't the things you're going to remember. You're going to remember hanging out with friends and, just seeing super cool stuff and that excitement, that awesome feeling.
The fudge.
The fudge, you're going to remember that too. I'm glad I got a clip of that. What's that company's called?
I don't know. It's right there. We hit up the fudge place. We got refills before we left.
This video is sponsored, free sponsorship from Chocolate Moonshine Company. Legally good.
They said they got a contract or whatever to be in there for all the conventions.
I think they did say they had some stuff available online as well.
Yeah, they do.
Shout out to them. I'll shout out.
And this year they did. They had restaurant quality food in the convention. You paid for it, of course. I didn't think the fudge was overly priced. Too bad. I've seen it worse. So, but I'm hoping they get better with the heating. I hope they get better. By Saturday, they kind of had the parking down. They did have people in there, trying to, instead of going up in one half, they spread it out. It was a lot easier to get out. I noticed on or Saturday and Sunday. I think, they're not going to be caught next time not thinking there's going to be this many people there. They need to think there's going to be more people there and be ready for it. They need to figure out the air conditioning issue because it's not fair to any of us, especially for people that come in for one day, pay the $30 entry, and come in there and sweat to death. But with that being said, it was still a successful event on all of our parts, I think. We had a good time, in and out, found the stuff we were looking for, found other stuff we weren't looking for, and, the friendships and just good times. And I'm just looking forward to the next one. Until next time, like, share. Anything you want to add, Mike, before we get out of
It's a national. It's awesome. It's always great. Like we've said in the past, you go to a national, you're gonna have a great time, gonna want to go back because it's more than just the cards. The cards are what bring us together, but it's like a family reunion, high school reunion, just getting together with old friends. It's absolutely awesome, and I appreciate you taking the trip with me, allowing me to take the trip with you, and everyone staying together. It was,
That's right. This was a fun one.
It was a good time.
Fun one. Definitely goes into memory, and for more than just having broke a record. So.
It is nice to be a record holder.
It is nice. So until next time, see ya.
Peace.